Hey, 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 welcome. It's Dee Dee, and I'm here for Friday Reads Live. This is where we talk about what we're reading today, Friday, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. So I'm waiting to see if anybody shows up. For the moment, I don't see anyone in the chat, but I'm sure somebody will show up. And then that way we can start talking about books. If you happen to be watching and you don't usually comment, you can always come in and let us know what you're reading. And if you don't want to stay to chat, that's okay. You can just pop back out. But it's really great to hear what people are reading these days, particularly since we're about to really go from spring to summer, so people's reading, habits usually change. People start to read more outside, or they even read less. Some people read more. So we might talk about that later on in this hour. Hello, Tracy. Welcome. Happy Friday. How are you? Are you having a good day? Hello, Gianna Smith. Happy Friday to you. Welcome. You're reading James. Excellent read. Yes. I love James. Very, very good, James. 5 stars, James. Such a good book. Mm. So, what are you reading, Tracy? Um, I just have just finished reading The Potato Factory. I had some pages left over from last month. So, oh, you're reading James as well? Oh, no, James. You said James 3. I had hands up. Yeah, for sure. So, I am going to be reading this right here, which is called Passion Tide by Monique Roffey. This is the Caribathon read along book for June, because June is Caribbean Heritage Month. If you don't know what it's about, I'll read you a little bit of the back of this one. It says early one morning at the close of St. Colubri's carnival, a young female steel pan player is found dead beneath a cannonball tree. It is a discovery that will transform the lives of everyone on this Caribbean island. As the days pass, a shocking event draws together new allies: Charlene, Tara, Gigi, and Daisy. In a community in which violence against women is overlooked, time after time, the group find themselves compelled to speak out and to act, but they could never have foreseen the consequences of their courage. So that's what this is. This is Passion Tide. Now, I'm gonna read this one, but like I have to admit, I wasn't really a fan of Mermaid Black Conch. I don't know if y'all read Mermaid Black Conch by Monique Roffey, but I wasn't a fan. It was, I don't know, it was giving me Fly vibes. The movie The Fly. The kind of icky parts of the Fly. It was kind of giving me that, and I was just like, what am I reading? I was like, I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. So I'm hoping this will be a little different. Okay, let's see who else is in here. Okay, welcome. I'm a Lola. Happy Friday. Hello, me plus two. How are you? Great to see you as well. Reading. Oh, When We Were Birds. Oh, I found my book club picks. Okay, very nice. Getting ready to wrap up Healing Wisdom of Africa. Okay, very nice. Hello, Alicia. How are you? What are you reading? Hey, Cher. How are you? Happy Friday. So Cher is about one third through the Book of Night Women by Marlon James. Enjoying it. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm glad you like, because I love that book. Oh my God, so good. It just gets, like, the beginning is good, and then it just gets better and better. But there's like the opening, there's like a scene in the beginning. It's just like wow, 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 and then it just gets better and better. Particularly the dialogues. The dialogues are. Hello, Birdie. How are you? Happy Friday. See, Birdie is reading Alana, the first adventure book one in the Song of the Lioness Quartet. Okay. And The English Bookshop by, yeah, Janice Wadley. Okay, very nice. Happy reading on that one. Hello, Curtis. How are you? What are you reading? Hello, Dale. How are you? How are you? What are you guys reading? Let's see. Regina says, "Hi, Dee Dee. I just finished reading All the Sinners Leave by S.A. Cosby. Now, that's the one I have not read. I need to get on it because I want to read it before I read King of Ashes. And King of Ashes is just around the corner. Picked up Passion Tide from the. Oh, yeah. So you're going to be doing the Caribathon read along as well. That's good. Let's see. Tracy said reading Pepper Pot, Best Stories from the Caribbean and Survival is a Promise. Eternal Life of Audre Lorde by Alexis Pauline Gumbs. Okay, that sounds very good. Hello, Rosa. Bon dia. How are you doing? What are you reading? Let's see. Amalos is reading A Brief History of Seven Killings by Roland James. Breath, Eyes, Memory. I have not read that one yet by Edwige Dantica. And An Inconvenient Cop by Edwin Raymond. I don't know this one, An Inconvenient Cop. I have to look that one up. Okay, Amalu says Seven Killings is a buddy read. Inconvenient Cop is for book club. Okay, I don't know it. Is Inconvenient Cop, is that written by a Black British person? Uh, I'm not sure. Let me know. Alicia said planning to start King of Ashes this weekend. Yeah, everybody's getting ready for the King of Ashes. Tracy says some of those are all, yeah, she's got all good lineups. She's a good book club, so that's why she got good lineups now. Curtis said finish reading Your House Will Pay by Steph Shaw last week. Great book, 5-star read. Well done. Currently reading George Michael, A Life, James Gavin, and Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. Oh, good luck with that Black Cake. I did not like that book. Let's see. Amala says to Tracy, have you read An Inconvenient Cop? DL said, finish King of Ashes. Well done. Okay, so you liked it. DL said, have some romances lined up, but would like to pick up a nice lit fic. What you thinking about? Do you have anything in mind? Are you, yeah, like what are you trying to decide between as a lit fic to pick up next? Um, Birdie says the Book of Night Women is the only Marlon James book that that you hadn't read. Oh, okay. No, I still need to read that, what is it called? Black Leopard Red Wolf. I haven't read that. I haven't read the one, what is it? Something the Black Crow, something or other. I haven't read that either. So yeah, I still have some things I haven't read by him. Let's see. Okay, Birdie said she's gonna be buddy reading King of Ashes with Bree. Oh my God, I love Bree. Well done. That's gonna be a good read along. Good buddy read. I'm gonna listen. I'm told I will be heated when I hear what policing action happens and quotas that have to fill. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'll definitely probably make you real mad and real paranoid after too. Um, Dale said nothing in mind. I just haven't read a contemporary lit or lit fic in a while. Have you read Zeal yet? Because that's one that's staring me in the face all the time. It's Zeal. Hey Nicole, how are you? Happy Friday. What are you reading? Did you get a chance to read Narrows or did you not finish? Amalila said, read a comment before that on the book synopsis. Oh, okay. Wait, let's see. Okay. My fight to change policing in America. He was an NYPD cop. This is kind of like a whistleblower memoir. Yeah, it still might make you paranoid though. Because when you start hearing how they do stuff, like you be looking over your shoulder all the time, paranoid every time I cop past. Um, Let me see. Okay, so Nicole said I did finish the Narrows, but wasn't able to join the book club. It was quite melodramatic. Um, I don't know if it's melodramatic, I would say, but I found it to be so good. Like the first part was a little unsettling to read because a little hard to figure out what was going on and where the thing was going. But once I passed the third mark, oh my God, I was all in. I was all in. So good. So good. So Jill said started Zeal, was not in the mood for. Oh, okay. All right. Now the thing about Zeal is when it arrived, I picked it up and I looked at it and I thought, oh shit. I did not think it was gonna be a dual timeline. I don't know, dual timelines. I've not read how many timelines have I read that I really liked. Not that many. I've not read that many dual timelines that I usually because I feel like when authors do dual timelines, they usually put more effort into one timeline than the other. And I feel like if you're gonna do a dual timeline, you gotta go hard for both timelines. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit off and your reader is gonna notice it. So when I saw that it was dual timeline, I was like, I don't know. Well, we're gonna see. I still want to read it though. Uh, let's see. Me plus two said Zeal was phenomenal. Okay, well, if you say so, I don't know. Like I said, I ain't read it yet. Timmy said, "Hey Dee Dee, happy Friday, everyone! Just finished The Devil Three Times by Ricky Fain. Oh, I don't know this one. And wow, easily in my top reads for 2025. Still reading Zeal and enjoying it very much. Okay, so I just mentioned Zeal and it's like, what? Zeal. Okay, cool. Birdie said a cop in my hometown used to harass me and my brother because he didn't like our dad. Like he would pull my brother over at least once a week. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I know. That's the problem when you have power and you can see how quickly power can be diverted into something very sinister, which is a terrible thing. Hey, Margaret, happy Friday. What are you reading? Nicole said, yeah, and Petrie does take a second to get to her core story. Yeah, which is fine. She did a great job with that fog in the beginning. We like that concept. You know, it was a fog, and all the characters were in a fog, and then we come out, and then we start to see the different characters and their issues. Yeah, it was good. We had a good discussion on that one. Margaret said, I'm reading a dual timeline RN. Oh, right now. That's kind of bugging me. But it's a something psyched book, so no going back. I don't know what that's supposed to be. What's supposed to be written there? I don't know. Like I don't dislike the idea of a dual timeline. I just haven't read it that many dual timelines that were super successful because there's usually one timeline that's slightly neglected for whatever reason. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. Dion said, yeah, the history of it was not something I could handle. Okay. Amalola said to Birdie, that's crazy. Yeah, I know. Margaret said, not reading this morning, been putting together some music for my dad's birthday gift. Oh, very nice. Happy birthday to your dad. Birdie said he would see me walking around my hometown, and because of my crutches, he would constantly just pull me over without going into too much detail. He's in jail now because of other things. Oh well, damn. I like, ay, 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 ay. Oh, HHRCYED is a year long readathon, almost over. Oh my God, A year long one? That's long. Um, yeah. So the summer is coming. Yeah, it is a great ending. That guy is trash. Well, those people, they eventually wind up, accident, grave accident, the prison or something. Because you can keep doing bad things for so long before that karma comes back on you somehow. I don't believe that you can just keep doing stuff like that and nothing ever comes back on you. Because especially, purposefully is or going out of your way to do bad stuff to people. That's like adding up some bad karma. Ugh. Um, very bad karma. So we're about to be summer. Is what the first day of summer? I think is the 21st of June. So, do you guys think you read more books in summer or less books in summer? So, like, are you the kind of person that summer and all that good weather does that just inspire you to read more, or does it inspire you to do other things? Because see, for me, I don't know. I want to say I'm not sure that I read more. I think I read more in winter too, for some reason, because I feel like summer, like, I go out and I'm walking or doing more things outside. So if I'm not listening to the book, I'm not particularly reading. So, but sometimes when I'm on holiday, I can read about four books on holiday. If we're away for 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, and I bring four books that are not too long, I can read every time we're in the car. So every time we're in the car in the morning going somewhere, I can be reading. Or when we come back at night, I can be reading. So that'll allow me to read anywhere between 3 to 5 books, depending on how big they are. But if I'm just here and it's summer and I have like, because I'll still be working, but I just have less hours. I might not really be sitting around reading. I might be doing stuff outside. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so she reads more in winter. Margaret says May was my bumper crop. Summer will be less as I get outside more. Okay, so you read less in summer. DL said more only because I have less work, travel, and more time to read. Yeah, okay, I get it. That makes sense. Let's see. Margaret said it is hard for everyone else to decide which books to bring on holiday too. Tell me alone. Oh yeah, no. What I usually do is I try to like I try to judge by what the book is about. So let's say, for instance, like if I don't read heavy, then I'm gonna avoid all the heavy books and try to get something that's a little bit on the light side. Like that's difficult on my bookshelf, but I can find something that's a little lighter. And then I try not to bring books that are way too thick because that just like ain't nobody lugging that around. No, 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 ma'am. So no 600, 500 plus page books. That's not going to happen when I'm on holiday. I want something that is 320 and less if possible, because yeah. Um, and that just helps me decide like that. Me plus two says I think I keep it the same all year round. It also depends on how busy I am too. Cher says, not hard at all. At all times, I'm packing around 300 to 400 book choices on my e reader. Yeah, the e reader is the best way to do it. But since I always have books here on my shelves that I want to get read, I always wind up packing at least 5 books with me. And I pack them and I have like a bag specifically for that. Let's see. Deal says I almost never read when I go on vacation. I intend to, but never get to that. Yeah. Melissa says I tend to read a bit more in June, but not this year. I think I read more in winter. I have traveled. I have traveled this summer. Yeah. So when it's true, it's summer is. I mean, there's just stuff going on. You're going out and you're seeing your friends, and so Tracy's asking Margaret what HRCYD is. It's a year-long readathon. You might have to ask Margaret the details of it though. Let's see. Curtis says, I believe I read about the same throughout the entire year. Okay, that's good. Steady is good. Margaret said, hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, run by Q Wordy, highlighting LGBTQ and indie reads. So that's what it stands for. Hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. Okay. Regina says HRCYD. Yeah. Margaret says, I just picked Miguel. I have not read that yet, and it's on my one of the books that's on my long Caribbean list by I've read by V.S. Nepal. I read the other one, which is The House from Mr. Biswas. I read that one. It was excellent. Even though he was trash in real life, that book was excellent. But I need to read Miguel Street as well. Miguel Street is a short one. Yeah, of course it works. It's Caribbean, of course. Let's see. Nicole said I put everything on my iPad mini. Okay, there you go. Tracy said I think I read a bit more in winter. Yeah. Melissa said to DL, only time I read on vacation is if I'm on a flight. Okay. And you see, normally I would be able to read on a flight, but I can't read on a flight anymore. It's just too noisy. The hum of the plane drives me crazy. I can't stand it. So it bothers me to read on the plane. Um, Tracy said, "Thank you, Mark." Oh yeah, Regina, for that. Um, I had not heard of this. The hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. There's another one that's going on that Latrice is doing. Ugh, I can't think of the name of it right now. It's also like a readathon. Let me see if I can figure out the name that she's doing. It's called uh, Amazing Readathon. It's like a game, and the person that does it, she gives them a prompt, and then they have to choose a book that goes with that prompt. I'm not sure what the it's based off of a TV show, but she's doing it as a book uh readathon. So that one is going on as well. Let's see. Nicole said it's hard to start a book on vacation. I'm a little said noise canceling headphones. No, yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Flying is not my thing. I really don't like flying. I do it, but like I don't know. I don't know if noise canceling headphones would actually help Amaloa. Um, yes, in real life he was trash. V.S. Nepal. I'm a little said best investment I made. Oh, okay. So they really were. I don't know. I might have to try that. Marcus like, really? Yeah, really. Cher said, OMG, and now they're letting kids sing on the intercom of planes. Huh? Sing on the what? No. But why? Why are the kids singing on the intercom in the plane? That is so weird to me. Cher says to Amalola, I swear wearing my N95 to hide my facial expressions is the only reason I'm not on the no fly list. I didn't know they were letting people sing on the plane now. Come on. Give people their peace and they quiet on the plane. Yeah, I don't know. Reading, I can read in the car as long as it's a straightaway. Like if we're on a highway, I can read. But if it's like this, yeah, your girl can't hang. I can't read on a turning road, but if it's straight, we're on a highway, that's no problem. I can read. And what I usually do is I'll just leave book. We get in the car, we leave the hotel, we start on the road. I'll read on the highway until I can't anymore because it's either like like this or whatever. And then when we get wherever we're going, I put it on the side and I come back and then maybe I don't pick it up for the rest of the day until we get back home, or until we're on the way back. Unless we're on the way back and it's at night, then I can't read. Let's see. Wait, it's going too fast. Let's see. Plus, calm singing would annoy me. I just think that is so rude. Like, who's letting their kids do that? Birdie said it depends the summer. Like right now, I'm reading a ton. I don't know why. In July, family always comes to visit, so I don't read much in July. Maybe that's why, because subconsciously you know that, so you're reading more now. Birdie said, I'm jealous of people that can physically read on a plane. I can do audiobooks on a plane. Like I used to be able to read on a plane, but I can't do it anymore. Nope. Sherry said, if it's a long road trip, my husband and I like listening to an audiobook together. I get motion sick, too easy to be looking down. Yeah, I do too. But like I said, if it's a straightaway, I'm fine. But if it's not, if it's these roads that go like this, which in France there are a lot of places where they have roads like this, yeah, I could get car sick very easily. So I only really read in the car when we're on a straightaway highway because yeah, it's not working otherwise, other than that. But listening to an audiobook, now I've never tried listening to an audiobook with my husband. That's kind of weird. Like maybe we should try that one time and see how it works. But we have to want to read the same book. So I might have to see about that. But that might be something to try. Is listening to an audiobook in the car, which I've not done that before. So might be something good to try. Maybe you could try reading a mystery. I think that would be kind of good. And it has to be one that's read well because there's nothing worse than listening to an audiobook in the car and or listening to an audiobook in general if it's not read well. I think that is just awful. So I'd probably have to try to pick a good one. Like something like a mystery or something that's not too literary. Said the only way that I got my friend into listening to audiobooks while we were in the car is I listened to the audiobook of his favorite book. Okay, and now it's his favorite thing to do when we're in the car. Okay, good idea. Good idea. I'm gonna take that. Um, thanks, Tracy. I'm gonna take that advice. Um, Maybe try a book that he really likes, and then we can listen to it in the car. Although that's kind of scary because he likes I mean he'll read a lot of different things, but he really likes sci-fi. Maybe I could get him to listen to Dawn in the car on audio. Has anyone listened to Dawn on audio? I don't know if I listened to Dawn on audio. Dawn Octavia E. Butler. Has anybody listened to Dawn on audio? Because that could he probably would like Dawn, I think, because it does have a little bit of a kind of a side to it. He might like that one, but I don't think I've listened to Dawn on audio, so I don't know. Oh, you loved Dawn on audio, so it was good. Okay, who was reading Dawn on audio? Is it Robin Else reading Dawn on audio? Let's see. Remnant population. Right. by Elizabeth Moon is sci-fi with excellent narration. Remnant. Okay, wait. Let me get my pen out. There we go. My notebook. Where's my pen? Here it is. Here's my pen. Let me write this down because if I don't write it down, it's not gonna get. Let's see. You said remnant population. Never heard of this one before. Elizabeth Moon. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Audible's version says narrator Julian Irons. That's what that is. Well, as long as it's good, but remnant population, I'm gonna look that up because I've never heard it before. And Cher says it has an excellent narration and it's sci-fi, so that's kind of cool. For who? Julian Irons does narration for Dan. Dan who? It was written in 1996. Has an unlikely heroine in her 80s. What? I'm really gonna check this one out because I've been looking for more books that contain protagonists that are over the age of 50. That's good to know. Corporations use planet colonies, and hers decides to move. She chooses to hide and stay behind by herself, except she's not. Oh shit. She's not alone. Oh shit. This sounds really good. Okay, now it really sounds like something I would watch on screen, but I'm gonna trust you on this one and say like let's listen to this one on audio. It sounds really good. And you said she's 80. I'm all in for that because we need to read more. I wish there were more stories with protagonists that were over the age of 50. It seems like we're perpetually reading about protagonists that are in their either in 20s or in their 30s. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Dawn, okay. Cher said it's not scary. I'm the biggest weenie. No, I don't think it's scary, but it just sounds really good. Sounds super engaging and something that would be a little bit out of the ordinary to read. Because if the protagonist is 80, that's cool. Like I'm down. Let's read that. Uh, Margaret said, "Okay, Dad, CD wrap, woo, packing for a family reunion too." Oh, very nice, very nice. Um, so yeah, that's interesting. That's what we should try to think of is everybody come with books that they know that the protagonist is over the age of 50 to see how many books we can really come up with that are different. Because this is not easy. This is not an easy thing. I'm sure there are a lot more of them out there, just aren't hearing about those titles. Bertie says, if you want books with older protagonists, the one that I recently read is The Remarkable Retirement of Edna Fisher. It's a dragon rider in her 60s. What? That is so cool. All right, wait, let me write that one down. Wait, let's see what's it called. The Remarkable Retirement of Edna Fisher. Okay, that one is really cool. That sounds really cool too. That does sound good, Nicole. I'm all in for that one too. Let's see. I'm a little said Deanna Rayburn writes The Assassins kills well with others. I think you about one. Killers of a certain age. Okay. Um, Deanna Rayburn. Rayborn. And it's good on audio. Okay. um, yeah, because that's something I don't know if people feel like that, but I feel like yeah, we're perpetually reading about 20 somethings or 30 somethings or early 40s, and I would say mostly 30s. Let's see. Brittany said, if you want to miss with older protagonists, there's the Thursday. Yes, I know about the Thursday Murder Club, and then there's the whole series around what's that character called? Um, I can't think what her name is now. The whole thing around I can't remember what the author's name is. She does this whole. It's just got all the books are related to these characters. Are all over 60. Um, which I have not read any of them yet. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, I read like Muna bringing ice cream to the sun. Yeah, I read that one. I've read that book a couple of times. It's very good. Frederick Bachman has a man called Ove, and Britt Marie was. Oh, I don't know. Britt Marie was here. That must be another book by him. Okay, I didn't know that. Frederick Bachman's Britt Marie was here. Okay. I was thinking about oh, there was another one that had an um, older protagonist, and I can't think of the name of it right now. But there should be more. I feel like there should be a lot more. But as we progress, maybe there will be more because we've managed to name quite a few already. But I think as time goes on, there's going to be more. I hope there'll be more, just because um, the experiences of older people are a little different from younger people. And I think there should be a little bit more accent on that. Mr. Loverman, excellent book. Yeah, definitely Mr. Loverman. That if you haven't read Mr. Loverman, get that book. It's so good. He's a mess. He's a mess, a guy. But such a good book. Very well done, that one. Yeah, it was really good. It was super good. And if I remember correctly, I did immersive reading with that. So I was reading the book and listening to the audio simultaneously, and it was read so well. That's a great book. I mean, yeah, really, 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 really good. Yeah, definitely one of my faves. I have not read The Remains. It's funny to write The Remains of the Day because my book club read The Remains of the Day, but when they read it, I was sick and wasn't and didn't go to the book club, so I did not read the book. I found one Harlequin romance where it was two people that lost their partners and they both in their 60s, and it was really cute. There is one that you just made me think of one that I did read that I liked. It's something called Our Souls. Our Souls. I think something like Our Souls at Night, something like that. Is that what it is? Um, I can't remember. They even made a film out of that one. Let's see. Oh yeah, Amalus Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. Talks about dementia. Yeah, wait. Yeah, it's called Our Souls at Night by Kent. What is his name? Kent Haruf, I think it is. These characters are I think they're in their 70s. And they did this one. It was adapted to film, and it had Robert Redford and I can't think of the woman's name. It was good though. Yeah, Jane Fonda. Yeah, that one is real good. Yeah, no, it's called Our Souls at Night. Very, very good. I didn't know it was on Netflix though. Hello, Alayana. Alayana. Yeah, okay. Good morning, you. And what are you reading? I'm a little said I'll do a Google search. Something bookish book club has a prompt for November. Yeah, I know. To find older protagonists in a romance novel. Yes, and we're gonna be reading. Let's see. For the read along, I think the one we're gonna be reading is an older. The character, she's in her 40s, I think. Okay, let me see if I can figure. I can't even remember the name of the damn book because I don't really do romance like that. But um, blah, 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 blah. I don't really do romance, but like that. But um, we're gonna be reading a romance novel. If I could just remember what the hell it's called, that would be nice. But I don't really remember the name. I think it's called "Let Me Love You" by. No, is that it? "Let Me Love You" by Alexandria House. Wait, hold 1 second. Huh. I think it might be this one, but I'm not positive. Yeah, and I think this one has an older protagonist with a younger man. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be reading in July for Read to Lit. Read along. Okay, wait, let me go back. Margaret said I really liked Mrs. Pansky's Revenge, and Lillian Fish takes a walk for older protagonists. Okay. Um, Ariana says reading The Midnight Pack by Jasmine by Kuliyasha. Okay, happy reading. Birdie said, I got the audio for Our Souls at Night. It was only $2. Well, now that was a bargain. It's a quick listen to. The book is super short, but it's good. Margaret said, got to get ready for productivity stream. All right. Bye bye. Happy streaming. Um, yeah, I think this is the one that we're going to be reading. We Love You by Alexandria House. I think that's what it is. We're going to be reading in July. And I think it has an older protagonist in it. Let's see. So that's actually pretty good. That's like a lot of different ones I did not know about. So I'm glad that we were able to come up with more than 10 because nobody really talks about this fact that the protagonist is always young-ish, young or youngish. Let's see. Bertie said, I like Alexandria House. That book is it's steamy, but it's really good. I think this is the one we're supposed to be reading. Um, yeah, because I thought for July something different for read so let read along and read something that's kind of like a romance, that is different from what we're really reading. And so somebody helped me choose this book. It was Comfy Cozy Up that said, "Oh yeah, you should read this." So I think Michael and Tatiana and I get had quite the discussion on this one. Um, so join us for that reading of "Let Me Love You," or at least come for discussion at least, because I have a feeling it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, said a lot of her books have older female protagonists, not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, now that I did not realize. Very interesting you say that. Now that's, yeah, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that she write most of older, older female protagonists. That's interesting. It's interesting you said older female protagonist. She's not particularly writing older male protagonist. Okay, I see her. Hey, Latrice, how are you? What are you reading? We were just talking about you doing your readathon. Um, and now talking about books where the protagonist is over 50. And so I was showing them the book that we're going to be reading for Read So It Read Along with Michael and Tatiana. It's going to be an Alexandria House book that we're going to be reading. And so, yeah, we were talking about that. Let me see if I can give you the picture again, because here it is. This one. Let Me Love You, Alexandria House. That's what we're going to be reading in July. Okay. Yes, yes, girl. We're reading a romance. We're doing something different. We're turning over a new leaf. That's what we're doing. We're trying to do something different. Okay, so I'll count you in, the tree. We get you with it. Never read either. So count me in. No, I haven't read any of it either. But I was like, we need a romance in July, and then I talked to Comfy Cozy Up, and that's what she told me. She said, "This is the one y'all need to read." So I was like, "Okay, this is the one we gonna read then." Uh, let's see. Okay, Birdie's gonna be rereading it, so it must be good if she's gonna reread. Okay, so Latrice said she's always in for the romance. Well, you know me, I don't know romance like that. But I'll join in. Why not? Yes, it's probably going to be a very funny conversation because I remember Peter said, she said, "Ooh, this is gonna be good. I can't wait to hear Michael's reaction." Is what she said when she suggested when I said, "Oh, okay, girl. We're gonna see. We're both, all three of us are gonna be clutching our pearls and stuff. So it's funny. Yeah, it's gonna be funny. I'm assuming it's the first one in the series because I ain't read none of this mess. So yeah, I guess it's the person. I guess I don't know if it's a standalone. What it is, y'all can tell me better than I know. I think it might be a standalone. I'm not sure, but she wouldn't say that's not number one. I mean, because she knows I don't really read romance, so I think this one might be a standalone. Oh, I take that back. This is book one. Because it says in tiny, I see the McLean Brothers book one of a series. Yeah, so there you have it. Latrice said Michael's gonna love it. I just know it. Okay, yeah, I think you're gonna love it too. Hey Bukola, how are you? To the 392. It's now been adapted to a stage show. Okay, go ahead, 392. The 392 is good, like a stage show. I could actually see it as a movie though too. I could see it as done as a movie or even as a series, as a mini series. I think it'd be really good. Mm, I did not know it's being adapted to a show, but I still think that's really interesting. Well done for him. I'm listed a shop on Book Outlet. They're having a 5.99 fiction sale. Ooh, that's a good deal. 5.99. I haven't shopped on Book Outlet in years. In years. Hardcovers and paperback for 5.99. Like I need a book like I need a hole in my head though. So I'm not gonna go over there because that would just be a big mistake. I don't need no more books. Let me see. The last book that came in is this one right here. The Windward Family, an atlas of love, loss, and belonging. This is like a it's a memoir of guy Alexis Keir, and his family is from the Caribbean, and so he's going back into past family life to find out how his life wound up being like it wound up through this memoir. So this is one that came a couple days ago, and this is yeah, Caribbean. So if I have time this month, I might read that. Let's see. Mm, okay, Buko said it's decent, and I'll let you know how it is next month. Curtis said to Lola, I did see that sale on Book Outlet. They take all of my money. I need to take from them. Laugh out loud. Yeah, they took all my money too when I bought from them. Amalila said she found the Yakubian building for 4.99. Yeah, I still need to read that one. Hey, Kay Simmons, how are you? Happy Friday reading. Tracy said, "What's the June read for Read So Lit?" It's We're Birds. That's what we're reading in the book club. When We Were Birds. Um, Wait, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so we're doing When We Were Birds. Let's see if I can show you when We Were Birds. That came out. I think that came out in 2023. Was it 2023? No, 2022. When We Were Birds by Ayanna Lloyd. Oh, it's one right here. This is what we're going to be reading in the Read So Lit book club on Patreon. When We Were Caribbean Lit. I think this is Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so Kay Simmons says, remember to hydrate, check your laundry, etc., etc. Very nice. Um, I'm a little said, I don't need any new books, but girl, I know I need any new books. There ain't no way I'm going on that. If I go on that site, I will definitely find something to buy. I mean, come on now. So thanks, Amalola, for letting us all know about this 5.99 sale, but I'm gonna pass, girl. When I get it, I am reading Experimental Magic by Iris. I guess it's Beagle or Bigelow. Right now, it is just coffee and admin. No, I really don't need a book. I need another book. Like I need a hole in my head, girl. So that 5.99 a book outlet sale gonna have to be without me, sir. It will not be me, ma'am. You're welcome. I love habits. I see that. Well, I'll support you on the fountain pen habit, and you can support me on the book habit. Cause, like no, it's a no, ma'am. I can't do it. Um, I can't do it because literally I have received. Let's see, I received Zeal not so long ago. This one a few years ago. Do I have anything else coming? Oh yeah, I do. I have something else coming. I thought about boycotted outlet for their nonsense in 2020. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are boycotted, but some people still buy from them. I haven't bought anything from them in like eons, literally. That's not a place that I usually buy books from, but I think the last time I bought from them was before 2020. Um, Wait, let me see if I can figure out this book. This last book that's supposed to be coming is um let's see. Hmm. It's this book called The Great Man by Kira Davis Lurie. This one. That's the one I'm waiting for. This is the a retelling of The Great Gatsby, but with black people. That's this one. And it's coming out. Oh, I don't know. When is it coming out? Like soon. June 19th, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, what it was this is what it was. It was when you opened up the site, it used to have, I don't know if it's the same, but it used to have these booktubers or their pictures on the screen. I think at one point there was controversy over that they never had black booktubers on their screen, and then at one point something was said or that was, you know, anti, and people started not buying from anymore. So yeah, and I just kind of put them out of my mind. Like I said, it was for 2020 when I stopped buying from them. Um, Let me see. Latrice, all I remember is we all were like, yeah, nope, y'all, and stop shopping there. Yeah. So yeah, I don't remember the whole thing, but it was something like that, and I remember it was like it was a no man. But people still buy from them now. They make it come back. Same thing with Book of the Month. They was in a doghouse of the month because they were very rarely featuring black books in their main selection, and so people stopped doing book of the month. People actually pulled their subscriptions for a minute. I think now people are going back to book of the month again. I mean, I don't know anybody who, I'm not following anybody closely who does book of the month, but I know that there are people have gone back to book of the month. Uh, okay, so Tracy said, "Thanks when your birds is at the top of my list. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I'm the same girl. I bought the book. I ain't ready, so we getting it done. This one we're getting it done. But I think I also want to read the other one, River Sing Me Home. I want to read that one as well. Wait, let's see. Latrice just saw the latest prompt for the Amazing Readathon. I'll be reading Long Vision by Kiesi Layman for it. What's the prompt? Mm, I feel like they never have anything good anymore, so I stopped using it. Yeah, Book of the Month. Yeah, a lot of people. That's what people to not want to order from Book of the Month was because they were never featuring Black books. Never. I think when somebody out on it, it just kind of sparked, a whole thing, a whole situation, and people started, not wanting to purchase from them anymore, and they started pulling their subscriptions. So yeah, that happened. I'm really love River Sing Me Home. Yeah, I'm very anxious to get to that one because it's another one I should have read when it came out, and I. Me plus two says I'm loving the audio version of When We Were Birds. Very good. Okay, so that's good. The only thing about When We Were Birds, I'm a little over anxious about is the fact that it has a lot of magical realism. So me and magical realism really get along with that. But I'm thinking I'm gonna be all right. I hope I'm be all right. All right. She says an over the top cover based upon the capital city for Hunger Games. Oh shit. That's the only book I have that kind of fits the description that is already on my TBR and that I own. An over the top cover based on the capital from Hunger Games. And wait, that's the only thing you got? Well, I don't know. I have the old copy of Long Division, and I think I gave it away because it's the old version. I don't know what the new version cover looks like. An over the top cover based upon the capital city. And that's an interesting prompt. I think about that. Curtis said to Amalola, I am no own River Sing Me Home, but have not picked up the book to read yet. Latrice said, so you can interpret that how you want. Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to, because you know. Hey B, how are you? Happy Friday. Latrice said, so I'm interpreting that with the colors and abstract painting, it kind of looks like okay. And then Latrice says, I have the new version. Yeah, I have the new version. I gave away the old version because I couldn't get along with the old version. So I should probably get the new version. I don't know what it looks like though, but that's not an easy prompt. I mean, I feel like that prompt feels like it's for people that read, sci-fi and YA. So specific. It feels like a YA sci-fi prompt to me, or fantasy prompt. Yeah. Okay, Latrice said, plus I have the audio because I'm reading other books. So yeah, well then do what you got to do, girl. You got your book, so work with that. That'll work. Billy said, I'm reading All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson and No Reservations by Cheryl Lister. What is that about? No Reservations. Is that a nonfiction or is that a fiction? Latrice said, so this readathon I use to get through books I own. If I don't own it or have it on TBR, I pick something else. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Pick something else. Yeah, not with that. Nicole says she don't know what to read next. I don't know what to tell you, Nicole. I guess you have to go feeling. Like, what you feeling? Are you feeling light? Are you feeling lit thick? Are you feeling contemporary? Are you feeling romance? Oh, it's a fictional story. What is it about? Tell us, Billy. What is it about? No reservations. I don't know. Nicole said, might as well just read the next big book, book club book. Yeah, well, you could also read When We Were Birds. It's a short book. It's not long. When We Were Birds is fairly short, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Uh, 292 pages. It's fairly short. Oh, Amalola said, spin a wheel, random number generator. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's a good idea. Spinning the wheel. Another thing is you could put, like, say for instance, make some strips with 20 books that are on your shelf. Just randomly pick them, put the little strips in a little jar, and just randomly pick them out. Sherry said, when I choose what to read next, I pick around 5 books I'm interested in and then read the first page. Yeah, that usually is a good idea. The page or two of each. Usually one grabs me and makes the choice easy. And I think Nicole said she might spin a wheel. Yeah, I feel like what Cher does is actually even better because once you start reading the book, it kind of like you kind of know if you're in the mood for that or not because you just it's right there on the page. I feel like if you're gonna spin the wheel, you've got to like kind of be happy with, you got to choose your 20 books or your 10 books and then you're going to spin the wheel, so you're going to want to be happy with the ones that you choose to put there as choices. Whereas if you're just choosing by reading the first page or two, you can always say no, I'm not feeling this one. I don't want that, and then you can go to the next one. um Amalola said, have my books in spreadsheets and use a random number generator for about 10 books. Okay, that's interesting as well because now that means you have an actively, well, I should say an active TBR that you recognize as an active TBR. Because there's TBR and then there's TBR, you know, TBR and TBR. So this is a TBR. So you actively recognize this, and so you can just randomly, do a number generator on 10 of the books on your TBR, which is good because that just means that you're focusing on your reading journey. Because I feel like this is the thing that people keep missing out on is that everybody has their own specific reading journey. What that is. You might have a reading journey that you want to read all the books on one shelf or all the ones in your spreadsheet, or you want to read all the books from certain authors, whatever that is, you've got your reading journey. Your reading journey might be to, ease into another genre that you weren't reading before. And so I feel like everybody has to respect that road that they're on and do that. That doesn't mean they can't read other things while they're doing that, but the focus that the idea of the TBR is the thing because I always hear people say, "Oh, I want to get I want to get my TBR down to zero," and I'm like, "Really? Is it possible to get your TBR down to zero? I don't think so." Let me see. Billy said from HarperCollins, four friends, three struggling relationships, and one final wish. Find your happiness. Okay. Both heartwarming and heart wrenching. Cheryl Lister invites readers to take a trip of a lifetime with her new women's fiction novel that reminds us all to live without regrets. I hear that. Okay, Amalua says unread books I own are on a spreadsheet. Okay, but that's a TBR. Okay. Me plus two said I have a jar with my TBR in it, and I just shake and pick. There you go. Cher said my TBR is longer than my remaining lifespan, so not helpful. Exactly. That's why I said it's a TBR. I get analysis paralysis and have to find a way to narrow down the choices. Amala said I update it every end of month. Cher said I wanna read too many damn books. Same. I want to read all the books, and it's just not possible. It's just not possible. We cannot read all of the books. We cannot, you know. So that's why getting your TBR down to zero. I just don't know how you do that. I'm confused by that statement. Now you can say I want to get my I don't know my Alexandra House TBR down to zero, meaning like I want to read all of her books, and I'm gonna be like, okay. But I think we keep forgetting that books come out all the time, and they're always books that are from the past that are just as good, if not better, than the ones that we read today. So that TBR is always going to be there. You're always going to have want to read more books in your lifespan. So you just have to be comfortable and happy with the idea that you can't read all the books, even though you really want to read all the books. That's actually a thing. We want to be able to read fast so that you could read, like, say, 300 books in a year? Or would you want to be able to just say that uh, you can only read 20 books a year because for I don't know something stops you from being able to read more than 20 books a year. So could you be happy with reading 20 books a year, or would you want to be the person that reads really fast, reads 300 a year? But let's say you can read the 20 books a year and you read them and you can actually recite them by heart. Hmm. Cher says every Tuesday when new books drop. Wait, more go on my list. Every Friday when we have these shots, more books go on my. It never ends. I know. I'm gonna listen. I keep saying I'll step away from book club so I can get the number down. Girl, you ain't stepping away from no damn book club. Stop it. Stop it. You love your book club. Latrice said, yeah, the last 4 years I focused heavily on reading my TBR. I'm literally almost done my Kindle TBR and I have less than 30 unread physical books. Yeah, but Latrice, how many books you read last year? What was it, 150? I'm a little said I want to read really fast. Yeah. Me plus said I'd be happy with 20. Amalila said to Latrice, I need to be like you. Yeah, I know. I wish I could read as fast as Latrice, but I can't. And DL as well reads really fast. There is no way I can handle reading 20 a year. I don't need to be able to recite them. I read for enjoyment. Okay, that's fine. Chris said I would actually be satisfied with 20 books, just as long as the books are yeah, of course. 20 of quality books. So it's like 20 5-star sure reads, and you can read them once and you can remember them verbatim. So if somebody looks on page 20 and starts to read the sentence, you can then start reading, start reciting right after. I think that would be really cool. Um, Wait, let's see. She said yes, but I own most of them. Well, that's fine. Listen the way I use Libby to find audiobooks for the books I own. Okay. Amalola said 20 a year is less than two a month. Amalola said, no, I know you want to read a lot of books. You said that. Latrice said, when I don't read for like a week, I feel like something is wrong with me. Well, that's because you're a reader. I mean, I think all readers feel like that. When we don't read for, like, I know I can take a break from reading 3 or 4 days, and then I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't read anything. I'm looking for a book. Um, so I think that's a reader thing, that's why some people, when they go through reading slumps, they feel bad. They basically torture themselves, feel bad because they're not reading. It is what it is. Sometimes you need a break, but I get it. Yeah, DL says, I feel so dry when I haven't read. I'm not dry, DL. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel bad when I haven't read either. Me plus two says, exactly. I feel guilty without a book. There you go. Amalula says, nah, you don't feel guilty without a book? Sharon said, reading is like medicine. It keeps me sane. Okay, girl. I hear you on that one. Mm. But that's why people usually feel guilty when they're going through a reading slump. Latrice said, that's also why I read multiple books at once. Because sometimes one book is boring and I need to switch it up. Okay. DL says, I'm like, I got nothing. I need to read a book. So, how do you feel when you go to someone's house and there's not a bookcase in sight? Do you judge? Be honest. Do you judge and then don't see a bookshelf in sight? Do you kind of ask questions to see if there might be a bookcase in another room, or do you just kind of like just judge? Melissa, mine out for being without a book. I can't show up in life like that. Yeah. She said, hey, don't judge. Ask if ebooks first. That's what I'm saying. You got to press to see if there's ebook or if they got a bookshelf in another room. Do you ask the question or you just judge? I'm curious. Um, Dale said no judgy, but disappointed because I'm nosy. I'm just disappointed because I'm like, why are you not reading? Like, where you going? Why are you walking through the house with your outside shoes on? Like, what? That's like not reading for me. Nicole said no because for a long time I kept my books in a drawer and I used a library. No, you said you had books in a drawer. I'm talking about people ain't got no books nowhere in their house because they ain't reading. They don't even own an e-reader. Bitches is not reading. Um, DL said some people are not readers. I know. In other forms of art or not. Laugh out loud. No, I don't judge. You don't judge. But you laughing. Me plus said no, I don't. I have nothing to say. Laugh out loud. They may have a different hobby or something. Amala said I don't judge, but unsure I could be one who doesn't read. I know. Yeah, that was. Yeah, yeah, that was like for me. There was no way I was being married to someone who doesn't like books and doesn't like to read. Like that was never happening. Mm-mm. I'm a listen. I mean, you have to read at least 5 books a year. I know, right? Cheryl said my favorite people are thinkers, and I'm not saying someone can be a thinker and not enjoy reading, but I've never met one. Mm. Regina Renee said I ask questions because some folks keep their books in the bedroom and some are e-readers and on. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Do y'all press to find out, or do you just like not wanting to ask questions about that? I always like I'm like always a little wait, I don't have books. It's odd. DL said there is nothing I dislike more than a snooty attitude about reading. This is my thing. You do your thing. You just can't be dumb. Okay, I'm all right with that. You just can't be dumb. There you go. I can see that. Really. But I mean, I'm not judging hard, but I'm just like I'm a little disappointed. I'm like, they're not readers. Mm, I get a little disappointed. That's all. It's not a real judgy, but it's a little disappointment. Um, but yeah, that's a real thing. Absolutely can be done. No, I mean, of course not. Of course not. Nobody dating dumb people. Come on now. Miss Teresa said I had a big move and read like for 2 years, but now back to the oasis of reading something. Sometimes life gets in the way. Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that there are moments in your life where you read a lot less for various different reasons. I remember when my kids were very young, I read a lot less than I'm reading now. A lot. I mean, I did read a book here and there, but my kids kept me busy. My kids are 21 months apart. So they followed each other at school. So I was always busy with them and I didn't have a lot of time to do like a lot of reading. So I get that. But I'm not even talking about people that take breaks. I'm talking about people that do not read at all. It's not the thing, they don't read at all. Never have, never going to. It's not their thing. But I do get that people can have moments in their lives. For some people can be very sick and be very sick. They're not able to read. Some people can have eye problems, eye strain, or whatever, so they're not able to read. They're not even able to concentrate with audiobooks. There could be many different reasons why people aren't reading. But one of the things that I find is that, because we're realizing now that more and more Americans are not reading anything all along, this is a problem. This is an issue. I get really worried when I hear that. I'm like, wait, what? They're not reading anything? Like nothing? But they say that statistically on the internet, within the next 10 years, the majority of websites will have even less words on them than they have now. That will be mostly, somebody reading something to you, probably an AI bot or something. Amalila said, I'll even take a perspire to aspire reader. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you can find one, that's not a bad idea. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. This whole idea about people not wanting to read and also college students not wanting to read. Rosa said my TR is kind of like my memory. Wait, I did jump like my memory of books I'm interested in and want to remember. Oh, that's interesting. I like the way you put that. Lola said those are the folks who only read self help. Okay. I like self help books. I'm sorry. Cher said you get worried because it is an issue. I mean, gestures brought around. Exactly, it's an issue. Yeah, big issue, very big issue. But I do like this idea that Rosa says it's like a memory of books I'm interested in and want to remember. Yeah, because there's this real thing about, this idea of picking books that are really worth our time. Um, and that can be different things to different people. When you're reading the books that really are the ones that are really floating your boat, that's like, yeah, that's the most important thing, that you're reading the things that really inspire you. Um, that you remember. I mean, because you can read loads of books, but we're not going to remember them all. There'll be some that'll just be like, remember that like the spot, but then 5 years later, we can't remember anything, can barely remember the name of the character or anything that happened in the book. And then there are other books, for some reason, remain ingrained on the brain. We can remember everything about it. So, yeah. I'm also said to Rosa, I've stopped keeping anything less than 4 stars. Yeah, for sure. or in my really enjoyed category. Yeah, absolutely. There's no point if it's not 4 stars and it's not something that you feel is worthy. Then what's the point? You're not keeping that for what? That's taking up room. Um, she said when I did the math on how many books I want to read compared to how many I will realistically read and understood it will be impossible to read them all. That is when my DNF game got strong. Oh my God. Yeah, well, I'm not mad at that because really and truly, that's where it's at. Is that where you can say, I started reading that book, and you know what? It was trash, or I'm not interested. I don't care. Next, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Bib Rosa said to I'm a little the same. I only want to keep the 4 and above. Yeah, let's look at it this way. You only got room for the 4 and above. You ain't got room for all that mess. You're not keeping all that mess. You're only going to keep the one kept. And Amalula said, "Oh, keeping signed first editions just in case need to sell stuff in my old age." Very nice. Yeah, those first editions are really good, especially if you can get them signed. They're worth even more than. Regina said, "The older I get, the more I DNF." I know that's right. Because I think when we're young, we always want to read everything. And when we start reading something we don't like it, we don't want to DNF it. And I feel like that's the problem. Because if you're not at school, why are you trying to read this book that you don't like? I don't get that. Curtis said to share, yes, for the DNA being strong. I am with you on that. I know, right? Because, like, look, ain't no got time for that. Okay, reading these bad books. Okay, like, no, we ain't got time for that. So the best thing to do is, if it's not floating your boat, you're not reading it for school, just DNF it and move on to the next thing. Don't waste your time. It's no point in continuing down that route. But DNF is something that is very difficult for some people to do. I know, yeah, they have issues with DNFing. It's something that, I don't know, it's almost like something is not arranged properly in a room. So they feel like, oh my God, I can't DNF. It's a horrible thing to DNF. But no, I feel like when you get a strong feeling, you're not connecting with the book and you've already, gave it a good try, then yeah, DNF. Don't waste your time. Don't, because that's like a whole, because when you don't DNF and you're reading the book you don't like, all you do is drag it out because you don't really want to read. So you just drag it for days. So instead of just DNFing it and getting on to something else that you could read right away, you are dragging that all the way. That don't make no sense. DNF and give away. I know, right? That's what I do. I DNF and it's like, here's a book. You want it? And the person will just say, yeah, good. And they'll say, did you like it? And I'll say no. And they'll still take it. They want the free book. Nicole said, or donate to the library. Yep. I have donated some English to the French library because they do have some English books in the library, but a lot of them are classics. And if you donate books in a foreign language, they have to be hardcover. So if I get a few that are hardcover that I want to keep, I definitely donate it over there if I'm not going to sell them. Let's see. I'm a little. I just found out there are little libraries at airports. Oh, I didn't know they did that in the airport. I've never seen one, but that's a good idea. Another thing you can do is leave it at your hotel when you're on holiday. If there's a book that you read on holiday and you just like it and you don't want to keep it, leave it at the hotel. A lot of hotels now have, like, in their lobby, they have like little bookshelves where people have left books where travelers can just take a book and you can either replace it with another book or you can take it with you. So, and I've done that. I've done that once or twice. Left a book at the hotel in the hotel lobby that I didn't. It was like a 3-star book. But I didn't know they had little free libraries in airports. This is new to me. I didn't know. A great idea. 'Cause I can see people leaving books in airports. I can see that happening. Curtis said, I've heard from some people that they don't DNF because what? They hang on hope that the book will get better at some point. I just don't have time for that. Engage me early or I'm out. Oh, God. I'm all behind you on that one, Curtis, because I'm like, when you gonna kick in at the 60% mark? I'm out. It's like, no, come on now. Rosa said, yes, hotels are great. I even look to shop from them just in case they have something good. And then Amala said, Seattle, Tacoma, Philadelphia, Newark, Liberty, Redmond, Cincinnati. Okay, they all have little free libraries. Very nice. Did not know. Did not know. It was on Threads. Okay, you saw that on Threads. Very interesting. I had no idea that they were doing that, but great idea. Well, they used to have that one. I don't remember what it was called now, but it was an organization. I think it was called Book. Um, I don't remember what it was called. Book something or other. And what you did was they sent you labels that you put in your book, and you write like your name, your first name in it, and then you write at the beginning you write like you give it like a star rating or something, and then you leave it somewhere, anywhere in public. Then you go home, or you can do it on your phone. You go onto the site and you say, I have left a book in I don't know, in the train station, or wherever, in the so and so park, or in so and so restaurant. So the person that finds the book, they can then read the book, and then they leave it somewhere for the next person to read. This organization, I don't know if it's still going on. I can't remember it right now. I think it was book something or other. I can't remember what it is. Book something or other. Book, book, book voyage or something weird like that. But it was a really big thing because it got people hunting around in different places for books in their local town, stuff like that. People would be hunting around looking, to find certain books. Sometimes it would be left on airplanes. Sometimes it'd be left, in some like in airports, certain gates. It was, oh, it's a gate, whatever. Um, you can find, whatever book it was, and it just got people hunting around for books. I thought it was a really good idea. I don't know if it's still going on though. Um, Wait, let's see. Nicole said it may depend on the terminal. I haven't seen it at the airports. I will look next time. I'm going to say a flight attendant said folks leave books all the time, and she takes them to donate. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to say to Nicole. I've never seen it in Philly, but you probably have to really look because they probably have one, and it's probably in the most unlikely place, and that's probably why you've never seen it. Because little free library and one little free library and one big ass airport, that's going to be hard to find unless when you arrive it is marked on their you can see little free library marked on their thing, so you can find it in the airport. Otherwise, I don't see how you would find it unless somebody tells you exactly where it is. Because yeah. Anyway, so I see it's already getting 30. I need to go. It's getting late. So this has been fun. I hope you guys have a good weekend of reading. Just for those who popped in and didn't know, I'm going to be reading Passion Tide, Monique Ruffy, which is the Caribathon read along for Caribbean Heritage Month. And this starts on the 8th of June. And this is like a mystery. So that's it. Have a great weekend. Thanks so much. And I will see you guys next Friday. Bye.